Good morning, students. I introduce myself to you. I am Kalemagal. I am working as a computer science teacher in our institution. Now, I am going to take class for grade 7. The chapter name is Computer Software and Languages. Okay, so what are all the concepts we are going to see in this chapter? Let me see. That means the agenda of this video class. Computer software. Here the computer software is classified into two types, a system software, application software. These system software and application software are further divided into so many categories. Let me see one by one. First we should know about the computer software and hardware. Students, you are having any idea about hardware? What is meant by hardware? Hardware is nothing but a physical components of computer. Hardware is nothing but physical parts or physical components of computer. Can we touch this and also can we see this hardware? Is it possible? Yes, we can touch the hardware and also we can see the hardware. What are all the hardware parts? So many hardware parts are available, but here I have given only some parts, that means physical parts of the computer. So what all I have given? Monitor, base unit. Here the base unit is nothing but CPU. Okay, then keyboard, mouse, printer. What is the use of monitor? The monitor is used to display the result. Okay, display the output. So keyboard is also one type of hardware, that is keyboard and mouse. Both hardwares are used to give the instruction to the computer, that means give the input to the system. Okay, base unit, whatever we are giving instructions by using a keyboard or mouse, everything is processed into the CPU and finally the result will be produced on the monitor. Okay, that means the processing will be done inside the CPU. The result, the output will be displayed on the monitor. Okay, here printer also given. So this is also one type of hardware. What is the use of this printer? So this printer is used to print the informations which is stored into the computer. Okay, we can get the printed copy of the particular document which is stored inside the computer. Did you understand, student? So here I did not assemble these parts together. Okay, when I am assembling these parts together, we can say this is known as computer. Okay, but here I did not assemble, so each and every parts are considered as hardware. That means physical components of the computer. When it will work? After joining all the parts, can we work? No. After joining all the parts, we are telling that is computer. When it will work? When we are installing the software into the computer, after that only we can work. Okay, so we need hardware and software works together for producing the result. Did you understand, student? Okay, the next one is software. What is meant by software? Now only I said, just if you are purchasing computer, okay, can we work in that computer without installing software? No, we can't work. If we are not installing any software into the inside the computer, it looks like a toy computer. It looks like a toy computer. When we are installing the software into the computer, then only we can work. Did you understand, student? So what does mean by software? Often I am using the word software. Having any idea about software? Okay, I will tell. So software is nothing but set of programs. What does mean by software? That means, sorry student, what is meant by program? Program is nothing but set of instructions. I will tell on good example. Suppose I'm asking you, add any two. I'm giving two numbers. Okay, I'm asking you to add these two numbers. What will you do? Manually, I'm asking you. You do manually. What will you do? By using the plus symbol, you will add two numbers and you will tell the result. Okay. Suppose if I'm asking the same work, I'm asking you to do the same work by using computer. What will you do? Can you do that by using manually? If you are doing 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, if you are telling, okay, but I'm asking the same work with the help of the computer you have to do. I'm telling you, can you do? How you have to do? You have to write the program. You have to give the instructions. You have to give the instructions to the computer. Then only you can do the addition sum. Is it clear, student? If I am asking you to do addition sum manually, means by using a plus operation, plus symbol, easily you can add. But same work I am asking you to do by using computer. So how you will do? With the help of the program. So program means what? Set of instructions. So you have to give the set of instructions to the computer to do the particular task. That means to do addition program, you have to give the set of instructions to the computer. So that is known as software. So, and also, can we see the software? No, we cannot see the software, and we can feel, but we cannot touch. We cannot touch, but we can feel. We cannot see the software. Good real-time example I will tell for hardware and software. Your body part, the human body parts are example for hardware. Okay, human body parts are example for hardware. Okay, that soul, human soul is example for software. We can see the human body parts, but soul, can we see? But we can feel. Isn't it or not? So like that, using only hardware, without software we can't do anything. So without hardware we can't do anything. So both hardware and software works together to produce some output. Did you understand, student? So what is meant by software? Software is nothing but set of programs. The program means what? Set of instructions. So we can feel, but we cannot see with our eyes. Okay. Why we are giving set of instructions to the computer? For performing some work, for performing some task. Okay. Here the computer software is divided into two categories. First one is system software and second one is application software. Okay, let me see one by one what is the meaning for system software and application software. Okay, here system software, the types only I have given, but definitions I will tell. So what is meant by system software? The system software is one type of software. It is used to design to run a computer's hardware. I said no, student. After purchasing the hardware, if you are not installing any software, you can't work. Isn't it or not? Just looks like a toy computer. Without installing any software, the computer looks like a toy computer. After installing software only, you can work in the computer. Okay. So the mainly a system software is designed to run a computer's hardware, and also if you are installing some type of software, you can you can run the application program also. You can run the application program also. How? I will tell you later. With the help of the types, you can understand easily. Okay, so the system software is designed to run a computer hardware and provides a good platform for running the application software. I will explain to you what is the meaning for application software. In this video class we will see. Okay student. So here system software is divided into 4 categories. These are all the main system software. So many system softwares are available. These are all the main things. First one is operating system. Very important concept. Operating system. This is the best system software. Operating system. I said no, without installing software you can't work in the computer. So first we have to install the operating system. The operating system is a one type of system software. So with the help of the system software, you can interact with your system. It acts as the interface between user and system. What is the meaning? Who is the user? We are the user. We are only using the computer, no? So we are the user. So we can interact with the computer system after installing the system software. That means here after installing the operating system in our computer, we can interact with our computer system. And also this operating system not only controls the computer hardware, as well as it controls the some functions of the computer, and also software means it controls the application software also. Okay, did you understand student? So without the operating system we can't do anything. That means this is main concept. If we are not using any operating system in our computer, that system is like a dead machine. The system is like a dead machine. Okay, so operating system means what? It is a one type of system software. It acts as a interface between user and system. Okay, what all the operating systems are available? See, I have given Windows, Macintosh, MS-DOS, Unix, Linux. Okay, see student, the first icon, this is the Windows. So many versions are available in Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows XP. Nowadays we are using Windows 10. Okay, so in our school 2 computer science labs are there. So in that what type of operating system we installed in all the system? Windows 7 and Windows 10. Did you understand student? Okay, apart from this, some process are done by the operating system. What are all the process? That is booting process. What does mean by booting? That is, it is the process of loading the operating system into the main memory. I think you did not understand. I will explain in a clear manner. So when it will happen, when the booting process will happen, that means when you are switching on the computer, that time the booting process will start. What is the work of the booting process? That means the system will check all the hardware and software. Those are installed or attached with the system. Not only it checks all the hardware and software, as well as it checks the files. All the files, those are required for running the system. So the booting process is done by the operating system. Okay, without operating system we cannot boot the computer. Did you understand student? So booting process is done by the operating system. When the booting process will happen? When we are switching on the computer, that time the booting process will happen. Booting process means what? It checks all the hardware and software. Those are required or attached with the system. Did you understand student? Okay, the next one is device driver. Okay, the first we have seen 4 type of system software is given in your book. First one is operating system, then second one is device driver, then third one is utility programs, then fourth one is language processor. Okay, so first I explained about operating system. Next one is device driver. What does mean by device driver? Device means what? Having any idea? That is input output devices. What are all the input output devices we are using? So many input output devices are available now. A keyboard, mouse, these are all the example for input devices. A printer, monitor, these are all the example for output devices. Okay, so device means what? Input output device. Okay, driver. Having any idea about driver? Okay, I will tell one good example. Bus driver. What they will help? They will help us to transfer, that means to travel from one place to another place. The bus driver help us to travel from one place to another place. Okay, here the driver means, here the device I said no, IO devices. So the IO devices wants to communicate each other means we need driver. We need driver. I think you understood what is the meaning for device driver. So device driver is nothing but that is a one type of system software. It controls all the devices which are all connected to the computer system. That means which are all attached to the computer system. It controls all the devices. Okay, for example, here I have given three devices: printer, speaker, hard disk. Okay, so here if I want to connect the printer with the computer system for the first time, don't forget student, if I want to connect the printer with the computer system for the first time, so what will happen? Immediately the operating system will ask you to install its driver to recognize this device. To recognize this device. So device driver only helps a computer to recognize the installed device. Suppose if any particular suppose the driver is not available to the particular for installing the particular device, the device will not work. The device will not work. Did you understand student? So device driver means what? It is nothing but a program. So it controls all the devices. What are all the devices we have attached with the computer? It controls all the devices. So each and every devices, if we want to connect with the computer, we need this device driver program. Without this, if we are connecting any device with the computer, the device will not work. Did you understand student? Okay. The next one is utility programs. What is the meaning for the word utility? Utility means that is software program. Utility means what? Software program. For what purpose we are using? This is also one type of system software. I said no, 4 types of system software is given in your subject. So this is also one type of system software. For what purpose we are using? Having any idea? It is used to perform. It is designed to perform some specific type of task. What a specific type of task? That means some computer operations. And also it helps, that means it is mainly responsible for smooth functioning of the computer. It is main responsible for smooth functioning of the computer. Okay. Many utility programs are available. When we are purchasing a system, after installing the operating system, these utility programs are also installed when we are installing the operating system. Did you understand student? So here Some of the utility programs are I listed here. First one is disk defragmenter, then second one is disk cleanup, then third one is file recovery, then fourth one is antivirus, then fifth one is system restore. Okay, I will explain everything with the help of the diagram. Let me see. Okay, the first one is disk defragmenter. Sorry student, disk defragmenter. What is the work? This is also one type of utility program. What it will do? First, you have to understand the fragmentation and defragmentation concept. See here, I have given two circles. What is this? Having any idea? This is known as disk. This is known as disk. Example, the hard disk. Okay. So here, what is the use of hard disk? Whatever we are typing on the computer, when we are saving that informations into the computer, where it will store? Inside the hard disk. Inside the hard disk, all the informations will be stored. Okay. Here, this is hard disk. Okay. See, first you'll see the fragmented disk. Here, see that shaders are given. No, these shaders are known as file. Here, the same file only are stored inside the disk into the different parts. Okay, before that, first we should know about the tracks and sector. Tracks means here the many circles are given. No, so each and every circle are known as the track. Here the circles are divided into by using lines. No, so each and every part is known as sector. So in that sector only the files are stored. Why? This is the same file. Why the files are splitted and stored into different parts of the disk? Why? Because there is not enough space, because this file is very large. So what happened? It is splitted and stored into the disk in different parts. This is fragmentation concept. Here some disadvantages is there, because here we are not getting a continuous free space. Okay, that means a large free space we can't get. So what we can do here means, what we will do here means defragmentation concept. So defragmentation means what? Here the splitted files are rejoined and stored into the continuous location. That means consecutive location. So what will happen? Here the splitted files are joined and stored into the continuous location means we can get large free space. That means large free memory space. Did you understand, student? So this defragmentation concept is done by the disk defragmenter. This defragmentation concept is done by the disk defragmenter. So disk defragmenter is nothing but it is a one type of utility program. It is, what is the use of this disk defragmenter? It joins the splitted files and stored into the disk in a continuous location, consecutive location. Did you understand, student? So this is fragmented disk, this is defragmented disk. In fragmentation concept, the files are splitted, that is same file is splitted and stored in the inside the disk in different parts. But in defragmented concept, the splitted files are joined and stored into the continuous location. So we can get enough memory space, large memory space. Okay. The next one is disk cleanup. What is the use of disk cleanup? That means it free ups the disk. It's free ups the disk. For example, here I have given C drive. Many drives are available in computer. C drive, D drive, E drive. we can store our documents, whatever it may be, documents or picture related documents, we can store in any directory. For example, I have stored lot of files in C drive, that is unnecessary files are in that C drive. I want to remove the unnecessary files. So what we have to do? You're having any idea? So with the help of the disk cleanup utility program, we can delete the unwanted files which is stored in the C directory, C drive. So disk cleanup is used to free up the disk space on the computer hard drive. Did you understand, student? Okay. The next one, file recovery. Okay, these file recovery utility programs are already installed in Windows, all the computer system, mainly in Windows operating system, where using computer we are already installed this file recovery software. Okay, what is the use of this file recovery software? Suppose when you are working in the computer, mistakenly if any files are deleted or corrupted, okay, which is stored on the storage device. Here the storage device means what? For example, hard disk. Okay, some files are corrupted or deleted which is stored in the storage device. How we can recover this? With the help of this file recovery software, we can recover the corrupted or deleted files which is stored in the hard storage device. Is it clear, student? So for what purpose we are using this file recovery software? This file recovery software is used to recover the corrupted or deleted files from a storage device. Okay, the next one, antivirus software. Having any idea what is meant by virus? Virus is a one type of program based on the computer. I am telling virus is a one type of the program. Okay, generally I am asking, suppose if virus is science term, I am telling, if virus is enter in your body, what will happen? It makes you sick. Isn't it or not? It will make you sick. That means you will get fever, you will suffer by fever, cold, then some body parts will get damaged. This is known as virus. So how you can recover? That means how you can avoid the virus, how you can remove the virus from your body? By taking antibiotics tablet, antibiotic medicines. Isn't it or not? So you can that means after taking antibiotic medicine, you can delete that virus. That means என்ன பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னா வைரஸை நீங்கள் வந்து உங்கள் உடம்புலேருந்து கிளியர் பண்ணிடலாம். Isn't it or not? Okay, so here the virus means, here virus is nothing but program. If a virus is enter into your body, it will make you sick. Okay, suppose here this virus program enter into the computer system, means what will happen? It affects all the parts of the computer. That means it affects all the files which is stored into the hard disk, It will eat all the files. Okay, it will eat all the files. So how we can avoid the virus which is occurred inside the computer? With the help of the antivirus software. So by using antivirus software, we can delete the virus which is inside the computer, which is occurred in the computer. So here some type of antivirus software I have given. So what are all, many type of antivirus software are available, but here some type of antivirus software I have given. What are all? AVG, N means Norton, then Kaspersky antivirus, then McAfee, then Avira antivirus. But in our school computer system, what type of antivirus we have installed? That means Kaspersky antivirus software. Some antivirus software is very powerful. Okay, whatever it may be, what type of virus will enter into the system, if we are installing a powerful antivirus in our system, means just it will detect and it will destroy that virus. Okay, so our school computer Kaspersky antivirus software we installed. So antivirus software is used to detect and remove the computer viruses. Did you understand, student? Okay, the next one is system restore. Having any idea about system restore? See student, here the concept restore point. If you are creating restore point in your system, it helps you to bring your computer, that means it helps you to bring your computer to a previous state without losing any personal data files. For example, when you are installing any computer software in your computer, before that you have created a system restore point. Okay, before installing any computer software in your system, you have created some restore points. Okay, Windows 7 or Windows 10 or Windows XP, whatever it may be, you can create restore point. Okay, after creating a restore point, you are installing any computer software. Mistakenly your system will get hanging position. Okay, will get hanging position. So what will happen? You can, whatever it may, after system changes, that means after system hanging, you can get your data without any loss. You can get back your personal data files without any loss, because you have created a system restore point. Okay, you have created a system restore point. Whatever you have done in your system, everything you can get, because you have created system restore point. Did you understand? When you are installing any software or when you are operating a system, suddenly the system will get hanging condition, means you can get, with the help of this system restore point, you can get your personal data files without any loss. Is it clear, student? So what are all the utility programs we have seen here? System restore, then disk defragmenter, then file recovery, then that means next antivirus software, then disk cleanup. I think you understood this about utility programs. The next one is language processor. Language processor. What does mean by language? Generally I am asking. So it is a way of communicate with others, isn't it or not? It is a way to communicate with others. How you can communicate? That is, so many languages we are using in all over the world. We are using so many languages. Here, for how you can communicate with the people using your languages? Tamil, you can use Tamil language, or English. You can convey your messages using the language English or Tamil or Telugu or Malayalam or Hindi, etc., etc. Okay, I am asking, based on generally this is language means that is a way to communicate with others. Here, based on the computer, what is meant by language? It is a way of method. It is a method to communicate with computer. It is a way or it is a method to communicate with computer system. To communicate with computer system. Okay. I will tell on good example. Consider three persons. Person A, person B, person C. Person A, he knows only the language Tamil. Okay. A person B, he knows only the language English. Okay. Here person C. Person C knows only person C only know to speak in English. Person A, he knows to speak only in Tamil. Person C, he knows to speak only in English. Okay. But person A wants to communicate with person B. The person A doesn't know to speak in English. Person C doesn't know to speak in Tamil. How they will communicate? See, I told three person. Person A, person B and person C. Person B, he knows to speak both languages, Tamil and English. Here, we are using the person A or person C will use the person B as a translator. Person C and person A both are using person B as a translator to translate the or to convey the to translate the languages. That means the person B, he only will translate the message from Tamil to English or from Tamil to English. The person A wants to communicate with person C. But the person A, he did not know to speak in English. So with the help of the person B, he will translate. So here person B acts as a translator. Did you understand, student? Here the person B acts as a translator. He only translate the language Tamil to English. Okay. This is general example. Here, language means I said computer language. So many programming languages we are using. By using that language only, we are giving some set of instructions to the computer to perform the specific task. We can write the program by using any languages. C or C++ or Java or Visual Basic, any languages we can use. But whatever it may be, that we are writing programs now, that will be in a human understandable format. That will be in a human understandable format. But machine language means the machine will understand only the two digits, zeros and ones. Zeros and ones. How we can convert the high level language, that means human understandable language, into machine language? We need a translator, isn't it or not? So by using the translator, we can convert the one programming language into other programming language. That means we can convert the high level programming language into machine level. Here we are using three types of translator. What are all? Assembler, interpreter and compiler. I will explain one by one. What is the meaning? What type of translator we are using for each and every language. Some type of language will use the assembler translator to convert the one programming language into other programming language. The assembly level languages example is here this is also considered as low level languages. Assembly level languages also considered as low level languages. Okay. Next, interpreter. Some languages will support these type of translator. What are all? Python, JavaScript. Some languages will support the translator, compiler. What are all? C, C++. Okay. So I will explain with the help of the diagram. Okay. First one is assembler. So how assembler will work? See here, source program, then object program. Source program means we are writing program, no, that is known as source program. Okay, here object program means that is machine level program is known as object program. So here we are using assembler as a translator to convert the assembly level language into machine level. But here each and every instructions of this program will be converted into machine level. One by one translation only will occur here. A program contains a set of instructions. For example, a program contains 10 lines means here the assembler will do one by one translation only. Okay, did you understand, student? Assembler is a one type of translator is used to convert the assembly level language into machine level language. Assembly level language means like this only will be. Add a comma b, that means a value is 5, b value is 6, means here we are adding a and b value. That assembly level coding will be like this. Did you understand? Okay. The next one is interpreter. Interpreter also a one type of translator. But what it will do? It converts the high level programming language into machine level with the help of the interpreter translator. But here interpreter will interpret the codings, that means line by line only. Okay, it first a program source code contains 10 line means first it will take the first line, it interprets, it convert into machine level language. After that it will get the next instruction from the source code. Again it will converted into machine level through the interpreter translator. Then third instruction. Next it will take the third instruction from the source code, and this third instruction, that means third line, will be converted into machine level with the help of the interpreter translator. Did you understand, student? So interpreter means line by line conversions will take place. Okay. The next one is compiler. So here the compiler, what will happen? It checks the whole program. It checks the whole program and converted into a machine level. Okay, here the high level language is converted into machine level with the help of the compiler. It is done. But here what will happen means it checks the whole program. For example, a program contains 10 line means at a time it takes the 10 lines and it converts into the machine level. If there is any error means the compiler will produce the error message on the screen. Okay, but here the interpreter, if there is any error, first it will take the first line. Now in interpreter, what I said, first it will take the first line. It interpret the first line. If there is any error means immediately it will display. It won't take all the lines of the coding. Okay, it will take one line, that means one line at a time it will take. It will be converted into machine level language. So the difference between interpreter and compiler is what? Interpreter, it checks line by line. Compiler, it checks the whole program. Did you understand, student? So the language processor is nothing but it is a one type of system software. It is a one type of system software. Whatever we are writing, by using so many programming languages we are using, for writing the program. So all the programs will be in human understandable format, but machine will understand only zeros and ones. So we have to convert the human understandable format language, that means high level programming language, into machine level. We need translator, that means language processor. With the help of the translator, we can convert the high level programming language into machine level language. Is it clear, student? Okay. The next one is application software. I said no, now up to which what we have seen, system software, that so many types are available. I explained all the types. Okay, all the categories I have explained. The next one is application software. Why we are using this application software? For performing any particular type of job. For performing any particular type of job, we are using this application software. What are all the jobs we can do by using this application software? We can edit the documents. Editing means what? Deletions, inserting new documents, then creating a new documents. Everything is coming under the concept editing. Okay, so formatting the documents, and we can perform the many calculations. We can arrange the data either in ascending order or in a descending order, and also we can book the flight tickets as well as train tickets. Many application software are available, but some of I have explained to you. Okay, application software is divided into two types. What are all? General purpose software, then customized software. Okay, what is the meaning for general purpose software? Here, these software are written for not written for any particular type of business. We can use this software both commercial and non-commercial purpose. All the people can use this software. All the people can use this software. Organization can use, hospitals, bank, we can use this software anywhere. Okay, any places, all the places we can use this software. This software is not written, not created for any particular type of business. Okay, did you understand? I will explain one by one. Some of the general purpose software I have listed here. What are all? Word processing software, then spreadsheet software, then DBMS software. Okay, what is the meaning for word processing software? Example, best example I have given, MS Word. Already you have worked? No, in lower classes already you worked. Okay, MS Word is best example for word processing software. What you will do in this software? You can see this white blank area. In this white blank area, you can type your documents. You can type, you can delete the unnecessary documents, you can insert new documents, you can formatting the documents. How you can format the documents? You can change the documents color, then you can change the font size. Font size means letter size. So many fonts are available, Times New Roman, Calibri, like that. So many fonts are available. You can change the font size also. So by using this software, you can edit and formatting the documents, as well as you can save the documents. You can use it later. Did you understand? Okay, the next one is spreadsheet software. Sorry student, the next one is spreadsheet software. So this is a good example I have given, MS Excel. MS Excel. See here so many boxes are given, no? So here the each and every boxes are considered as cell. Here we can store and organize the data in the form of rows and columns. Here we can store and organize the data in the form of rows and columns. See here I have stored the student details, student number, name, marks, everything I have stored here in the form of rows and columns. Did you understand? So the spreadsheet software is used to organize, store, organize and manipulate the data in the form of rows and columns. Okay. Example MS Excel. The next one is DBMS software. Okay. Some what are all the database are available. See the example I have given, MS Access, Oracle, then MySQL. MySQL. Okay. What is the use of database? We can store the data permanently. We can store the data permanently. Okay. What type of data we can store? I said no, application software. So these application software informations we can store into the database permanently. How we can manipulate the data which is available on the database? How we can retrieve? How we can get the data? With the help of the software. That means database management system software. Database management system software. So through this we can retrieve the data and also we can store the data and we can edit the data. Unnecessarily data, if we want to delete unnecessary data which is available on the database means we can easily delete. So totally we can manipulate, which is manipulate the data which is available on the database with the help of the DBMS software. DBMS means what? Database management system. See here, order filling, invoice system, payroll. Payroll means here employee details we are storing. Invoice means that is receipt, that means receipt related details we are storing, that pricing, everything we are storing. Then order filling system means products ordered, what type of details we will store, then customer details, everything we can store, we are maintaining in this order filling system. So all the data are stored permanently into this database. It acts as a central server. It acts as a central server. Okay. So the central database. Every details we are storing into the central database permanently. Did you understand, student? Okay. So what type of application software? The general purpose software. Here I explained three types of general purpose software. What are all? DBMS software, then spreadsheet software, then word processing software. Apart from this, many type of general purpose software are available, but here I explained only three. Okay. The next one is customized software. What is meant by customized software? I said general purpose software means this software is created not for the particular type of business, but this customized software, these software are designed for the particular type of business. If we are designing any customized software for one type of business, we can't use that software to another type of business. We can't use the same software to another type of business. A good example, suppose if we are designing software for student, if you are designing the software for school, can we use that software to bank? Is it possible? No, we can't. So this software is designed for particular type of business. If we are designing this software for school purpose means we cannot use the same software to bank. Okay. So this customized software is also known as tailor-made software or a special software. Example I have given: payroll, inventory, then railway reservation, hotel, banking. In payroll we are storing for creating for a storing the employee details. We are designing this software. Then banking information, we are storing the customer details. We are designing this software. Then hotel management, then for creating, for storing the how many rooms are there, then what is the hotel room rent and other details we can store in this. We are storing in this hotel management software. For that we are creating this, we are designing this hotel management software. Did you understand, student? So in application software we have seen two types: general purpose software and customized software. I think you understood my class. Next class we will see generation of the computer languages and number system. Don't forget, student, what all I have explained in this video class, please take notes. We will see in next class. Thank you, student.